Everyone, it's Libby from Maighstirtarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Worimi First Nations people. It's WORIMI, and welcome to you, your guides, my guides in the universal energies. Absolute pleasure to have you along. Before I start the personal readings next week, I'm trying to get through a few of these alternate subjects that people have mentioned to me, because time is going to become scarce, I imagine. I was asked to have a look at the Salem witch trials in Massachusetts. Now, I was guided to use my runic tarot. It is a bit of a dark deck, so I do apologise if it's hard to see. I will try and hold them up so the cards are visible, but they are very dark cards to look at. So if I'm looking this way, it's because my notes are down here. The Salem witch trials, Massachusetts. The persecution of people who are suspected to be of a different spiritual bent started in Europe and then spread to the colonies in the US in the 1600s. So from February 1692 through to May 1693, there were in the Salem area, there were 200 people accused of witchcraft, and 30 were found guilty. 19 were executed via hanging. One was basically tortured to death, and 5 died in jail. As for the others, I just suspect they were released. But what it is, it was very much a warning about mass hysteria, religious extremism, the ability to falsely accuse. The youngest was a 5-year-old, Dorothy Good, who was accused of witchcraft. And it is believed that this rose out of disputes over property lines and grazing rights and church privileges, and basically if you had a beef with your neighbour type thing. So I'm just going to have a quick look and just see if I can find out what the energies behind the Salem witch trials was, and then just see if we can define it down a little bit further. I'm really feeling it was very much, okay, thank you. I'm getting literally a herbalist. I have an image of a young girl, a young woman who is drying herbs. She's also I won't say smoking herbs. She's got them in the smoke of the fire, and she's putting certain herbs in the smoke to infuse other herbs. What's she doing? She's just in this house. There's thatched roof, feels like a thatched roof. Is it stone walls? No, it almost feels like a roundhouse. Don't know whether they had roundhouses in Salem, Massachusetts. It feels like it's round so that there's no corners. And that there's a fire in looks like it's a hearth in the centre. Almost like a medieval house, if that makes sense, the roundhouses of the medieval period. But I am talking about the 16 during this period. Got the long skirt on. She's got her hair braided. Her hair braided. There's a few wisps, and she's just literally, her walls are lined with the goods of her craft. Oh, healing. I'm getting healing. What am I seeing? Yes. Oh, pardon me. That was a dog sneezing. Okay, let's have a look at the energies of this. I don't know who she is. She's got dark hair. She's not very old. When I say not very old, I mean I'm well into my 50s, so anybody under 40 is not very old, but she feels sort of 20s. Single. Oh, they did not like that she was single. Ooh, 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 ooh. They did not like that she was an independent woman. Far out. Okay. I'm going to have a look at the energies of this particular woman. Come on down. Let's have a look. Oh, there's a dog upside down, scratching her back on the floor. Okay. The energies of this particular woman. I'm really getting it's the 6 of Six of Wands, which can be the victory card, but I'm really feeling like it's more a defiance card. A defiance, knowing that you've got good on your side. You're doing the right thing. But let's see where this goes. Challenged by. Yeah, yep. Challenged by the threat of death. The darkness that walked the earth is what I'm getting there. Now, I know death has many meanings, but I'm so drawn to this image here with the two dogs on either side. I'm just getting challenged by evil. Oh, and yet it was the religious that challenged them. I'm really getting challenged by the threat of death and just evil. Okay. Energies behind the scenes, the magician, the magic, the perception of magic, and then we've got the Ten of Pentacles, the rape, slaughter, pillage, the legacy of the moneyed. Oh, okay, right. This is interesting. So those with wealth did not like, they were really did not like the independence of these women, mainly women. I know it was a couple of men were also found guilty as well, but it feels really that they did not like these women upsetting the status quo, their position of power. Okay, coming out of this, the Empress. So the majority of these women that were accused were simply in touch with Mother Earth. It was Earth Mother energy that they were channeling. The genuine ones that were accused, not I want her husband, so therefore I'm going to accuse her, or she slept with my whatever, so I'm going to accuse her type thing. This is the magic of those that were genuinely in touch with Mother Earth, the Earth Mother, that were creating cycles that were karmic, that were, okay, thank you. What am I getting here? Wheel of Fortune, connected with this rape and pillaging card. This was about, oh, okay, thank you. I just got shown the word suppression. This is about turning the wheel to suppress these independent women. Okay, it did get a bit out of hand, right? This is about oligarchical control with the King of Pentacles as the karma hanging over these trials, and the Knight of Wands bringing forth volatile, explosive messages from these patriarchal control energies. Okay, where are we going with this? The Star of Hope and Healing, going forward. The battle of good versus evil, which is what we have here as the signifiers. The Star of Hope and Healing across the land. So this was started in Europe. So this was the energies, thank you. Thank you. What I'm getting is this is the energies that started in the European persecution, that it was about oligarchical control, it was about suppression, it was about the defiance, the independence of these women, and it just got shipped overseas, is what I'm getting. It got shipped overseas. I'm going to have a further look at this. The Nine of Cups, but what you've got here is the plotting going on in the back room, the emotional plotting. It's not based in fact, it's emotional plotting. And then we have the Two of Wands, so this is coming out the other side. I am going to explore this further. This is really interesting. Coming out the other side, the path being lit forward, but being stopped, and the path being lit forward, but not until after there was this despair and outcasting and misery before this sword of truth was brought forward and presented, where it was decided what was really important and to burn down the rest. I can keep going with those cards, but that's what I'm really getting. That's the energies behind the witch trials, was the importation from Europe of the defiant independence that these oligarchical energies wanted to bring back under their control. They did not like these women. Oh, this is quite icky, actually. This is quite icky energy. Under the guise of religion, but it got out of hand in Salem. Okay, so show me why. That's the energies behind what was happening, but show me why Salem. What was going on in Salem? I did read. Okay, so Massachusetts, and the New England area were where those of deep religion went to try and escape persecution. And what did they end up doing? Persecuting. Why? What? Tell me why. What happened? What happened? I have read about, the process of it, the actual documented process, but I'm wanting to know the emotional, spiritual process. Why Salem? What happened? Let's have a look. Right, the Eight of Swords. Why Salem and what happened? This is very much about restriction. Restricting at the point of the sword. Restricting surrender in the face of the threat. Who was this bought by? Forced surrender. Yeah, this is all about masculinity feeling threatened by compassion and empathy and gentleness and healing and kindness. This force to surrender at the point of the sword was because they felt threatened by those that had a connection with the Earth Mother, because the masculinity is not based, now I'm not talking about males, I'm talking about masculine energy is not based in compassion and symbiotic relationships with Earth Mother. It is based in control and aggression, etc. So let's see where this goes. Foundation, Six of Pentacles. I'm drawn to the image on the card here itself. You've got all these warriors standing there with their shields up, bashing the shields, and I can hear it clear as day of this pounding of the shields, while there is this one figure in the foreground that is forced to their knees. I know it's usually a giving and receiving help, but this very much feels like being caught up in the mob sensationalism of it. If you think about riots or propaganda, etc., it's the same sort of the chanting at speeches or football games, singing with the club at the football game. It's that sort of energy, getting caught up in the power of belonging. The power of belonging to something that is bigger than yourself is the foundation of this. So I'm asking, why Salem? What happened? And this was about, you're either with us or you're against us energy. The background of this, again, it was imported in from overseas. The idea of it was brought in from overseas. Crowning this reading is, again, poker shuffled and they're coming out in a different order, but yes, crowning this reading is, again, the message of defiance is what I'm getting there. right being on their side, and the independence and defiance. Immediate future in regards to this by Salem, I'm not talking the future from now, I'm talking about the future from them, was plotting that went on in the background. The plotting that went on behind the scenes. And it happened really quickly. I'm going to say that it literally washed over Salem, trampled over Salem with the Chariot card, causing chaos, turning neighbour against neighbour, family against family. And it was literally just a galloping mischief. Okay, thank you. Interesting word. And they seem so at odds, those two words. It was a galloping mischief that washed over, and I'm not saying through, washed over Salem. Okay. Ooh-wee. Internally. Four of Swords. Literally allowing others to burn so that they felt stable and secure. Watching on, the masses watching on without taking action and allowing some amongst them to burn. Yeah, hope and fear. You're either with us or you're against us. You're in with us or you're out in the cold. And if you're out in the cold, you are in deep trouble. You're on your own, persecuted, attacked, left to die. With the future coming out of it was a truth, a significant truth that was brought forward. We're looking at a period of 12, 13, 14, 15 months. But then there was a defiant stand made. I don't know why they were stopped. I didn't get that far into my reading, but there was a truth that was brought forward in regards to this, and a defiant stand brought it to a stop. Possibly prosecution of those that were involved in the witch trials. But again, feminine energy, queen energy coming forward. No emotion. She brings no emotion, but she brings clarity and truth and wisdom and knowledge, and she's not afraid to use it. So whether it was women banding together and standing up, I'm not sure, but this is the outcome. And we have the Seven of Pentacles, reaping what they have sowed. This is the masculine energy, reaping what he sowed, and he's got his sword of truth pointed down. It is literally his truth he is using as a crutch. And this was all about trophies on the wall. This was all about self-achievement is what I'm getting here, self-achievement. But the truth literally raised this to the ground so that it could be rebuilt anew. The painful, painful, painful history is what I'm getting here. Again, we've got a lot of feminine energy coming through, the Queen of Cups. There are things about these trials that are still not yet been revealed, and we may never learn. But here is the Queen of Wands bringing forth the message that is being brought from these trials about, I'm really hearing about persecution, about burning at the stake for no other reason than being defiant and independent. The message is about working together, making slow and steady progress as we move from a time of dominant masculinity to dominant femininity. Again, not male or female, just a change from the aggressive doing to the compassionate being. We have the Hermit. There's still yet some to be uncovered, and it may be uncovered through investigation of this evil that was wrought, because bringing forth the message as the toxicity is drawn out of the land and moving forward, moving on emotionally from this time. We've got the Two of Wands. Thank you. I'm being told this is the message that these witch trials are telling us. It's time to stop and decide what path we want to take forward. We've been exposed to it. We understand why it came about, and yet we are still repeating. My thoughts are drawn to those that have been killed in the conflict going on in Israel and Palestine, the children, the accusations being flung at those that were not guilty, the division that has been brought. This is about pausing and deciding what path you want to take forward, because there is this collective awakening coming and this significant new start where all that has gone before is literally gone up in flames, and we have a cleansing and a new beginning. Wow. So what I'm really feeling, okay, thank you. They're wanting me to title this video Lessons from the Salem Witch Trials. It literally indolence and turning away and not paying attention and saying it's not my problem, doesn't belong to me, is going to lead to an abuse of power and the stealing of the truth by those that are in this patriarchal moneyed energy and are bringing death and destruction. Oh wow, this is about the lesson. Thank you. The lesson, they're telling me the lesson is very much about about speaking up and not standing aside to allow and not allowing others to be persecuted purely based on accusations and circumstantial. Going to draw some cards from the Work Your Light Oracle, some circumstantial because of the position of who they are externally, not who they are internally. There are more of us than there are of those that are doing the persecuting. There's a couple of cards to finish from the Work Your Light Oracle. The cards just to finish. Ooh, that one wants to come out. It's time to release soul patterns, release contracts and past lives. To be unbound by the restriction of our past. We need to know our past. We need to understand our past so that we can remove the bindings. But this is very much about releasing the soul patterns of persecuting, is what I'm getting there. Wow, wow. Oh my God, that is powerful for the moment. Okay, thank you for joining me. Love to you all. Take care.